but I believe that there's a pandemic in the world that's targeting men's mental health right now.
I don't really give a about what people think about me.
Dating. How do you think that is right now? Do you think there's a lot of young men struggling in that field?
I don't think it's a good idea to date until you find yourself. How are you going to find your significant other if you don't even know who you are? You need to go out into the world and find out who you are.
Do you ever struggle with choice, like having too many options?
And I felt like that when I was personally lost because
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into this series. My Sangremia story is all about empowering the individual. Whether you're an artist, athlete, entrepreneur, this series is simply here to inspire the viewer. If you have a dream, chase that shit. No, I'm just kidding. In this week's episode, we will be interviewing my good friend, Herbert Morales. He's an actor and entrepreneur. He's incredibly wise. I've personally learned so much from his mindset, and this conversation has challenged me in my own ways, in my own mentality, in my own growth. I hope you guys learned something, or at the very least, are entertained by it.
So I really want this episode to be focused on men's mental health. I personally, I could be wrong, but I believe that there's a pandemic in the world that's targeting men's mental health right now. Whether people want to call it social media, the internet, Instagram, whatever they want to call it, I feel like there's this weird virus in every young man's mind. For better or worse, comparison.
yeah.
It's robbing young men of being able to enjoy the moment. I've been personally affected by it. I'm always like, damn, I'm comparing myself left and right. And I forget, all the beautiful things, family, health, this, that. So for you, what's your point of view on the current times right now with young men in the world and fucking social media and all that stuff?
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I literally maybe 3 years back, I put a timer on my phone. I only allowed myself 1 hour on social media for that same reason. I found myself two things, just scrolling down a rabbit hole and just wasting so much time. Two, comparing myself. So I was like, the only thing you can control in this life is yourself and your actions and how you react to what life throws at you.
100%. I think Gary Vee said it. He's always like, man, you guys don't understand what you have at your fingertips. It could be the greatest tool or it could be the greatest distraction.
Yeah.
Because there's tons of people who are using it for the better use, advancing themselves forward, teaching themselves things. I mean, bro, we got things like ChatGPT. Freaking YouTube can teach you anything. You're a fingertip away from, a click away from Googling anything, finding anybody or anyone, So yeah, man, it could be used for good and bad. For you, though, how have you used it to navigate your success? You have a beautiful ranch here. So have you used that in terms of marketing or meeting different people and bringing them on here? I know you guys just shot a movie here. So how was that?
Yeah, that's literally what happened, bro. I was a producer of my own social media. I was just going down, for example, if either it's through word of mouth where we get the ranch rented out or, we have it posted on different websites. But for this, for example, put hashtag directors on Instagram. And I was literally messaging directors, I was being a producer of social media instead of a consumer. And that's how I found the director, the guy who shot this movie, Blake Ryder. He was like, yeah, we'll rent it out. He was like, but I also want you to be a part of the movie too. So it's like a two, kill two birds with one stone. So
damn, that's dope.
You using that to my advantage, whatever it is, you could be a dentist, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever, and use that to your own advantage. But
you came in with offering something.
I came in with something of value.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not. You're never just asking, oh, I want this, I want that. It's like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I could offer you guys.
Exactly.
And then if you guys want to, collaborate in any other way, let's do it.
Like 50 Cent said it best. He's like, people will help you when they know you don't need help. When they perceive you to not need help. So you mix that with bringing value to a director, a producer, another actor, a gaffer, a lighting grip, whatever it is. You bring value. Like in our case, we're actors. You bring value. In this case, I brought value with the ranch and myself as an actor as well. And they'll be like, okay, cool. He's bringing something of value. We can collaborate. We can collaborate on this. But at the same time, like how we were talking about before, not letting social media be the thief of your joy in comparison, but being able to be confident confident in yourself? How do you create confidence? Like we were talking about before, keeping your word to yourself and the preparation you put into your life. I start my days at night. So like I program my subconscious, my mind, be like, okay, this week is gonna go like this, is gonna go like this, and that's how it's gonna be. I visualize it. I close my eyes, and I actually feel the feelings of how it feels to have accomplished the things that I'm gonna accomplish. So then that way, when I'm sleeping for those like 6 hours, it's just marinating in my mind. Did I wake up at the same time that I said I was gonna wake up?
Yeah.
Did I not pick up my phone, and did I say a quick prayer? Did I make my bed? Did I brush my teeth? Did I go to the gym? That's 5 wins.
Yeah.
And by 6 a.m. or whatever the time you wake up, and it's just those daily wins that you got to stack in order to be able to put yourself forward and have more confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
And then, for example, us as actors, it's the preparation that we put into our characters. And not saying that we're not nervous. Obviously, nerves are always a good thing.
Always, yeah.
We're always nervous,
there.
but it's you're able to control those nerves. But it's not nerves of I didn't prepare. It's nerves of excitement, and it's nerves of anxiousness that I want to go out there and kill it.
100%. Yeah. No, I like that. What do you think were some of your worst habits that you ever had?
Procrastination.
Yeah.
Procrastination was a big one for me. Procrastination, like I said, not being able to put the phone down, which is why I set the timer on myself and I was disciplined.
Yeah.
That not having discipline and not being disciplined in anything, I was just kind of just winging it. I'm just like, oh, let's see whatever the world throws at me.
Yeah.
But me knowing I'm not that person, maybe somebody else is like, I'm gonna just wing it, like whatever. I'm gonna go wherever the wind takes me. I'm not that type of person. I have to be super meticulous and have to be thought out and planned out because we do have a lot of things going on. We do a lot of things. But at the same time, kind of have that flexibility to be open-minded, to be like, okay, if this thing comes my way, then yeah, cool. Like, let me just switch it around for a little bit. But it was just not. It was having bad habits, not being disciplined, and literally when I just did the complete opposite, I just started just getting more into figuring out myself and really like studying myself. Like I had an acting teacher when my first ever acting class. She pulled me aside and she was like, "Hey," but she waited until everybody left, so she didn't kind of put me on the spot. And she was just like, "Hey, you don't need acting classes right now." She was like, "You don't need that right now." She's like, "You need to go out into the world and find out who you are." And I thought I knew what that meant until maybe like 2020. I heard this quote from Jim Rohn, and he said, to become successful, you have to become a successful person. You have to be to attract success. You have to become an attractive person. And then the thing that changed my life was he was like, you can work hard on your job and make a living, which is fine, but you can work on yourself and make a fortune, which is super fine. And that's when it clicked. I was like, that's what my acting teacher meant. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, and you'll make a fortune.
I want to touch on because I got a lot of friends and I got a lot of family members who are going through a hard time right now, with everything. I'm always telling them, I'm like, man, I feel like in 10 years we're going to look back on these times and be like, man, that was like the second Great Depression, the 2020s, the 2030s, whatever. But, for that viewer out there, man, who's like struggling with their mental health and stuff, like maybe they haven't found their purpose or what they want, like how would you recommend finding themselves?
I can only speak from experience of how I found myself, bro. I just tried a lot of things.
Yeah.
I tried a lot of things. And whatever failed, I was like, okay, cool. I just took a learning experience from everything that I tried in terms of either jobs or careers or started different, businesses that failed. But I tried a lot of things. But then I found the learning experience in all of those, and at the same time, I didn't like let that kind of get to me or kind of just bog me down. I'm just like, we only have one life. Literally. I was like, let me just learn from this, and let me take the learning experiences that I took from here and just apply it until whatever sticks. But what I also did too, I was like, okay, cool. If I did like the thing that I failed at, I was like, cool. I failed at it, but I still liked it. So let me keep going for it. And the things that I didn't like, I was like, okay, cool, I failed it, but at least I tried it. And it's not really a failure, it's a learning experience at the end of the day. You can't look at things as failures because you always just gotta learn from them and move on and just reapply it to the next phase in your life.
I feel like life's really short and we don't understand that until a huge chunk of time has gone by, and then we look back and we're like, why didn't I try these things that I wanted to try? I was so curious on them,
But you know why people don't try it though?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Failing.
Fear of failing, but I feel like it's fear of other people's opinions.
That too, right?
I feel like we were all like that too. I don't know about you, but I was like that in late.
I'm still like that sometimes.
Late teens, early 20s, and so I learned. I don't know if you've heard of the 18-40-60 rule.
No, I haven't heard of that. What's that?
They say that at 18 you care about what people think about you.
Okay.
At 40 you're like, I don't really give a fuck about what people think about me. At 60 you realize nobody really cared about you.
Whoa.
So then when you realize that. then everybody's in their own world.
Yeah.
You think people are looking at you harder than you think they are, but nobody's really paying attention to you.
Everybody's got their own BS,
Everybody's got their own life. Like we say in Spanish, like cada cabeza es un mundo. Everybody is living their own life, and you're worried about what the other person thinks because you're afraid to start that business. You jump into that career field that maybe you're the only one in your family or friend group that's ever done it. You're afraid to go take that solo trip. You're afraid to go skydiving, or you're afraid to go do what you want because of other people's opinions. But once you realize that really nobody really cares, it gives you that freedom to be like, cool, I want to just do it because I want to do it. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
And through it makes me being happy. I'm going to spread that happiness and joy to everybody else. And hopefully that joy and happiness that I'm spreading is going to be able to help inspire and motivate other people to do the same and just go out there and just try it.
Nobody's coming to save you, and nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, go try things. And even if they do say something mean to you, something like they try to make fun of you in comments or whatever, it's like, dude, people who are winning don't take the time to shame somebody who's trying to win. Never. I've never seen a winner actively try to shame somebody for trying to win. Never. It's always losers who try to shame somebody who's trying to win. Always. And it's because they're just trying to drag you down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I don't, honestly, like, I don't really care about what people think about me. Like, for example, like a comment on social media or a comment on the street in the grocery store. I don't know you. I don't know who you are, bro. Like, I honestly, like,
if you ain't paying my bills, bro, if you ain't family, like,
you don't know my story, bro. You don't know me as a person. So I don't care what anybody has to think about me. Honestly, I only care about what my loved ones have to think about me, and when I say loved ones, they know who they are. Yeah. They know who they are, or like certain friends that I have, they know who they are. Like, I care about their opinion. Other than that, bro, everything is just BS.
How do you think it is out there for men, young men especially, like dating? You know, because right now I feel like a lot of young men are really struggling in that field in terms of like finding a partner, or maybe it's even just finding themselves to bring themselves, the true self, to their partner. Like, how do you think that is right now? Do you think there's a lot of young men struggling in that field?
I think there is a lot of men struggling, especially, like we said, because of social media. Everybody has a bunch of stress on them, both men and women. Yeah. But I feel like because what we were taught as young men, like, we have to be the providers, we have to be the leaders, the protectors, the providers of our own family, you know, of our wives, of our children, when we do have children. You do have a lot of that added pressure, but I feel like it is a little bit more heightened because of, you know, the times we're living in with social media and all that stuff. Yeah. But I think especially like when it comes to dating, I don't think it's a good idea to date until you find yourself. How are you going to find your significant other if you don't even know who you are? Damn. So you got to go find yourself first.
You can't find your partner if you're lost and you haven't even found yourself.
Because at that point you're just getting
selfish.
It's selfish because you're only trying to get external validation, and if you want it. You won't need external validation if you're okay with yourself internally. Yeah. When you're good with yourself internally, your external will show. And I feel like, at least for me,
and then you don't even have to go find it. Almost you attract it, right?
Bro, you attract it. Like that's what happened with me. Like I didn't go chase. I just worked on myself. Like I said, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and then the right person came into my life. And then at that, it's just like, it's like, you know, it's meant to be because God put you together. You weren't out there just. You know, it's a feeling that you have, like they say, if you know, you know, you know, and it's not on our time, it's on God's time.
I have a question about, this is something that I sometimes struggle with. It's like, do you ever struggle with choice, like having too many options? Because sometimes I find myself, I'll be like daydreaming about one certain life path. I'm like, oh, if I did that, I'd be so successful. I could do, but if I did that, that's where. Wait, no, but if I did that, that's where the success really is. That's where my passion really is. And then before you know it, I'm going crazy and I'm like, fuck, I haven't done anything. I've been like, what is it, paralysis, overanalysis. Yeah, overanalysis causes paralysis. But have you ever found yourself in that situation? Or?
I have, but do you think you're doing that because of what we're talking about? Because you find yourself scrolling, you're like, if I would have started that Amazon drop shipping, or if I would have started, like, you know,
pinche crypto.
Yeah, if you would have
bought that crypto food.
If I would have bought Ethereum back in 2020, if I would have drop shipped,
if I just would have bought a house in 2001 when I was 4 years old.
Yeah, exactly. But do you find yourself doing that because you are?
I find myself, it's weird, I'm kind of a nut. I have like a wall at my house that I have written all my like goals and like areas of things that like I really want, and it's only 10. But in my mind I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, yeah, that's too many. Like, just focus in on one thing.
10 career paths or 10 different goals?
Just strange, like 10 different career paths with like a million different goals within each career path. And I'm like, dude, I'm a nut. And again, it's maybe a little bit was inspired by like seeing, you know, external things and people and doing this, and I got inspired by them. But as of lately, I'm like, you know what? I need to focus just on the things that I love, because the things that I'm waking up early for, that I don't gotta wake up and be like, fuck, I gotta do that.
Yeah.
You know?
It almost feels like if you didn't get paid for it, you would do it for free.
Yeah.
Because it's
100%.
a love. You're doing it out of love.
Yeah.
But I felt like that, and I'm not saying you're lost.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying I felt like that when I was personally lost, because, but like I said, I tried a bunch of different things that didn't work. But when I found, for example, act, even though I sucked at it in the beginning, like we all do, you know, you're every single day, you know, you're constantly learning and growing. But when I was up on, you know, on a set, I was like, oh, like this feels familiar. This feels like home. Like, and you know, like when you're first starting, you're not getting paid for it.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
much,
I'm not getting paid for it, but I love it. They're telling me to be on set at 5 a.m. and I'm here at 4:15 because I love it. But at the same time, when I was working like warehouse jobs, I would have to be at 5 a.m. and I'd be waking up at 4:45.
Oh my
god! And I'm just like, I do not want to go to this. But it's just like, I think it's just finding what you love to do. When you find what you love to do, like you'll never work a day in your life. And obviously there's going to be moments of stress and moments of you know, that there's certain things happen or moments of doubt.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'd rather have that in something I love to do and something that just feels miserable to me.
Then doing something else, then you're always wondering about like the thing that you wish you were doing.
And for me, any idea, anything I have in my mind, I go for it.
Yeah.
Because I rather live with it might not working right now, but I'm going to keep working on it to work out later. But instead of going home and being like, what if I would have just tried it? Yeah. But I was just too scared to maybe ask that question or maybe make a fool out of myself.
I always be telling people that, man. I'm like, as soon as you get the impulse, write down a plan, and it's as simple as just doing the first step, then the second step, then the third step, and just do it. Make the time. The hardest part, you know what the crazy thing is, because, you know, I have the Actors Campus and I'm teaching them, you know, all my students how to act and this and that. I'm always telling them the hardest part really ain't the acting part. The hardest part is making the time to go and act. Setting those hours, blocking them off and being like, you know what, from this time to this time, I'm going ham on my craft, I'm learning, I'm dialing in, not picking up my phone, not getting distracted, I'm not doing anything else but learning and dialing in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the hardest part really isn't accomplishing the goal. The hardest part is just setting the time up and taking care of the mental, you know, space behind that.
Like I always say, bro, when I wake up, I say I'm open and ready to receive any and every miracle that's coming my way.
Hell yeah.
And it happens. Yeah. It's not just the law of attraction, but it's the law of assumption. I don't know if you know the law of assumption, but the law of assumption says, say it as if it's already done and then go out into the world and actually be it.
I fucking love that, man.
And that's it. And then
I love that.
After you do all that, like they say, los sueños se cumplen.
I love that, my bro. Yeah. My bro, you to go. We got matching boots. Let's go, baby. Cheers. Let's go take a tour.
Let's do it.
All right. Compadre, México está tan lindo. Nunca me quiero ir de aquí.
Compadre, este no es México. Este es Dreamers Ranch. Ponte las pilas.
No, es cierto.
¿Qué estás hablando?
This is Dreamers Ranch.
Vamos. Basically, like I was explaining to you, all of this, when people come out here, they ask me, they're like, oh, was all this here? I'm like, bro, no, this was bare land. This is 10 acres. 10 acres of just raw land. So when we got it, like my parents and I, we were just like, okay, cool, what do we want to fence off? So we fenced off the whole thing. And then little by little, we're like, where do we want the porch area to go to have some shade? Because it gets hot up here. It's a little bit windy right now, but it gets hot. Without shade, like no la haces. Put the porch area here, got people to do cement. Then little by little, I was like, man, 10 acres is a lot. Because like we just bought it for family fun, you know, to come out here, barbecue, go dirt bike riding, camping. And then I was like, man, we can help so many filmmakers film their music videos, shows, commercials, movies, weddings, proposals, like whatever it is. And I'm just like, let me just start buying, you know, prop pieces here and there and just start putting it up for rent. This is it.
Okay.
We got the homie Juanito.
Hey, Juanito. You guys just shot a movie in here, right?
Yeah, and people were shooting in here, like a fight scene in here, and then all over in the ranch.
Damn, okay.
10 acres. So we got this little, I'm gonna do like an MTV Cribs type of thing. So we got space into a bed, got the little table here, got a little thing up here where we sleep at, got the bedroom. Hell yeah.
That's where I would be crashing at.
I called every single airport in California and I was like, do you guys have a crashed airplane that you guys aren't using that you guys are willing to sell and let go?
Wow.
Nothing. And the last The last airport I called was the one I used to work at. And the lady was like, you're just in time. She was like, we've been wanting to sell this for a while. She's like, if you come, you can come take a look at it if you want it. I'll sell it to you. This is it.
Shoo! Damn, I feel like Tom Cruise.
Literally, bro. And it came like this, and
Feel like Tom Cruisito.
people come in here, and this is like I think it's a Boeing 777. So it's a big old boy.
When she asked if I have a private jet. I have a private jet. She never said it if it works. She never asked if it works.
And then, like I said, little by little, started putting set pieces together. Bought this bus that we're gonna end up painting a different color and remodeling the inside. But like I said,
dude.
every production, for the most part, uses it. And
What would you say the vibe here is like? Would you say it's like post-apocalyptic, desert, western? Like, how would you describe it? 'Cause you have so many different, stages and props.
it's for sure like what I intended every single thing to be was just have its own little section. So this is obviously more like a horror movie type of vibe, you know, like a suspense, a thriller. You got that old
Look out!
Exactly. You got like a 1969 Ambassador car there. It's hot as hell in here.
Oh man, it's hot as hell.
And
Caliente.
and like I said, bro, there was another company that wanted to come out here and rent it out for I think a week and do explosions and build like I think like a 30-foot wall of just like old school TVs and crash a plane into it.
Yeah.
And at the last minute they ended up going with another property.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. What's for you is for you. Nobody can stop it. So it wasn't meant for us, But
if it's coming,
something like that will come. But yeah, people come out here with their ideas like that, and they take out their own permits and. They have their own like firefighters come out here if they do want to do explosions and all that.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We're going full Spielberg out here.
Full
Steven Spielberg.
The chapel area.
Oh, shoot.
Chapel area, so where you can.
Let's go.
Exactly. The persinas. Pray. And like I said, people shoot out here too.
All right, Steven Spielberg, Universal Studios, Warner Brothers. You know where to go for your next incredible Hollywood-worthy location. Herbert, any last words you want to share with the audience here?
Bienvenidos a todos. Everybody's welcome to come film here. Like I said, you got a wedding, you got a proposal, you got a music video, commercial, TV show, movie. Bienvenidos. You guys are all welcome.
Support Latino-owned businesses, guys.
Let's do it. Man, appreciate you for coming out with your team, brother.
I got you, my bro.
Pleasure having you back. A comer!
Adios. Cheers.